Welcome to the Daily Fantasy 5 for this Friday, June 7th. It's episode 108. And as always, we are brought to you by www.mathradio.com. Go to mathradio.com to pick up an online math course for your child ages 7 through 17 for only $9.99 to help them get better grades, score higher on exams, and even get into college. That is www.mathradio.com. All right, today on the show, we are bringing you the 5 things you need to know every day in the world of fantasy sports. Our first story comes from the NFL. Philadelphia Eagles Carson Wentz has signed a huge extension where he gets $107 million in guaranteed money. So he's locked up for the next 6 years. I didn't think Carson Wentz was going to be going anywhere, but with his injury history, this is a very nice deal for him, and it keeps him in Philadelphia and adds some stability there. So if you're a Carson Wentz believer, you've got to like this contract. Let's go ahead and move over to baseball. We have a couple stories before we get to the NBA Finals. Keuchel has been traded to the he was signed by the Atlanta Braves. He was a free agent last year for the Astros. He had a 3.74 ERA with a 1.31 whip. He was 12-11 with only 153 strikeouts in 204 innings. So his strikeouts were down last year. His whip was up. I don't like that combination, especially after he missed the first, month and a half, 2 months of the baseball season. So I would not be buying on Keuchel of the Atlanta Braves. Speaking of not buying, I'm also not buying Cubs' new closer, Kimbrel. Madden says he could be ready to go in 3 weeks, but should you grab this guy? Is it worth it to stash him for 3 weeks until he's ready? I would not, because who knows if he's even going to be effective when he comes back. It might take him a while to really get things under control. So I would not be spending all my fantasy dollars on Kimbrel. In the NBA, we had a trade yesterday. The Nets have traded Allen Crabbe to the Atlanta Hawks. They are also sending 2 first-round picks, the 17th pick in this year's draft and a lottery-protected first-round pick next year. Atlanta gets a lot of draft picks. They only have to handle Crabbe for, I think, 1 year, then they get him off their books. This is a great move for Atlanta. For Nets fans, I mean, this has to be a signal that they are going to get 2 big-time free agents. If Kyrie and KD come to this team, they both should have monster numbers. It would be incredible. We'll see if it happens. For fantasy, from a fantasy standpoint, I wouldn't be doing anything right now. No matter where KD and Kyrie end up playing, they're going to have value. So I don't think this affects it that much. But I wanted to get the news out there. Also, we have Game 4 of the NBA Finals tonight. Raptors at the Warriors. Warriors are a 4.5-point favorite. They were a 5.5-point favorite. I'm going to go ahead and take the Warriors, at -4.5. I think they're going to win tonight. The over-under is 216, and tip-off is at 9 o'clock. Clay is expected to play. KD has been ruled out again for the Warriors. I think the Warriors take this game, even the series at 2-2 as they head back to Toronto. Right now, we are down 3 units, and like I said, I'm going to be putting 1 unit on Golden State -4.5 tonight. My fantasy lineup is going to be, I'm starting Leonard as my MVP, Steph as my all-star, Draymond Green as my starter or my pro. And off the bench, I'm going with Serge Ibaka again. He was great for us last time. He had 3 blocks. That was huge. And I'm starting Sean Livingston. Even though he stunk last game, I think he goes out there and he plays much, much better. He has something to prove. He will not let his team down again. So that's my 5-man lineup for our single game tonight. That's it from the Daily Fantasy 5 today. We'll be back tomorrow to talk about all the news. If you would, please like and subscribe this show on YouTube. If you're watching or listening, on the podcast, please give us a 5-star rating and a review on iTunes or Spotify. And check out, if you have kids, mathradio.com, where you can pick up an online math course for your child as little as $9.99. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, folks.